I remember when I started my stress management coaching business. That was probably like 12, 13 years ago. I was trying everything under the sun to help me to get more clients. Reading books, doing online classes, hiring other coaches to teach me business coaching. I mean, you tell me what I should do, I'll probably have done it. I spent thousands of dollars, and making myself better because obviously I was doing something wrong, right? So I want to ask you now: is there something that you are have a passion to do? And it could be climbing a mountain, writing a book, slimming up, I don't know, starting your sock knitting business, whatever you want to do. But there's just something looks like it just doesn't work. It doesn't connect right. And no matter what you do, looks like that no matter what you do, it's not happening. Or maybe you tried something to do and it didn't happen. And then you're like, you know what? I don't think this is my path. So I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen. Or totally just drop the idea. Or maybe you are someone who have an idea that you want to do it. You think that it can help you. You want to, but you haven't even started anything yet. Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, I want to tell you what I learned, why those things were not working out for me. And it has nothing to do with learning from other people how to do things. Yes, of course, if let's say you want to cook a dish and you come to the new kitchen, you obviously need to know what the utensils are, what are the pots and pans, and how to turn on the stove. You obviously need to have all of that. But really, what comes to actual cooking, you're the one who needs to do it. You know that. But here's the funny thing, and it reminds me. So there is this Lithuanian dish. I'm from Lithuania, by the way, and maybe it's not a Lithuanian dish, but it's very popular where I'm from. Basically, it's stuffed cabbage, and my mom does one way, and my dad does a different way. And then there was a time when we decided that the way my dad does it, it tastes so much better. So my mom started doing exactly the same way as my dad used to cook. Yes, you guessed it right. It didn't taste the same. It didn't. Sometimes, even the same dish, the same recipe, is going to be very different outcome. Well, maybe not very different outcome, especially in cooking. You're still going to have meat if you cooked meat. It's not going to turn into cabbage, obviously. But think, the things that you already have done for your passion, for whatever you wanted to do, for your goal that you want to achieve, you might pay attention how others do the thing. Maybe you took some online classes, coaching, or maybe you were just watching. I mean, in today's environment, we are bombarded with all of the teachings that it looks like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, and then I need to do this. And the worst part is, the second one will tell you that you did the wrong way because the first one was so wrong. And it's like it's kind of like those ads, like one moment they say fat is very bad for you, you shouldn't eat it. The next time it's like, oh no, fat is very good, your brain needs it. It's like, eat bacon, don't eat bacon, drink milk, don't drink milk. It's the hype. We can recognize this when we paying attention to foods, correct? Because it's obvious. But we're really not paying attention to what's happening, let's say, in coaching. Or I teach a lot about how to write and publish books, and there are plenty of opinions how to do it right. Well, obviously, because for them that what works, right? So, but our problem is that we assume that the same thing that worked for other people is going to work for us. We don't really have enough of that courage to do it our own way. So then I started really asking myself, okay, how many programs can I buy? How many gurus can I follow? What's going to take? And I tell you, on that moment, and I had quite a few of those moments until I finally arrived at the conclusion what was wrong, I was thinking that I was doing something very, very wrong, although it looked like I was doing exactly the same thing. It's kind of like my mother cooking the same dish, but still coming up with a different taste. And where does it really come to? Is it that's all it takes to actually do the recipe? Well, it tastes different. So obviously there is some ingredient in there that we don't see it. The same comes whatever you want to do, especially that has to do with sharing your energy, your passion, and be visible in the world, and everybody will see you. Well, maybe few friends of yours will see you for sure. But you understand, if you will do something, you will influence people around you. You will influence yourself first, that you will become someone else. Because, let's say you want to try out a new diet. And that person that you planning to become and you want to become is very different from the one that before you made a decision that you want to start out a new diet, a new gym regime. So obviously there is something there that we don't see that has a huge impact because it really affecting our results. And I finally came to conclusion, and it blew my mind. It happened when I was reading this book about how to get more stress management coaching clients. And it was not specifically for stress management, but like for coaching clients. And the author of the book said that she was ACOA, an adult child of alcoholics. And listen, this is not a video about childhood traumas and everything. I'm just mentioning this because it's very important for us to understand where all of this is coming from. And it's easier to change something when you know what you need to change, or what you want to work on, or whatever you want to call it. And then I realized my problem, and I'm not saying it's yours, but just think about it, was I was not broken. I was not doing something wrong. I've seen people succeed in coaching business with doing even less than I was trying to do. So obviously there was something there that I was not seeing it. And the key was, I was not broken. I was not doing something wrong. I had plenty of experience. I was scared. Yes, scared. You probably heard this before. You were just afraid to be successful. But that is a little bit more than this. And it's like, why would I be stressed about being successful? That's where my happiness will be, in my success, when I finally climb the mountain, when I finally get my clients, when I finally publish a book. What's to be afraid of? We are scared of breaking the loyalty away from the people that know us the way they know us. So imagine you write a book, and now you're a published author. You might be scared that you're going to hurt somebody else's feelings. You might be scared that somebody's not going to like it. You'll be afraid of visibility, because if you think and believe, really believe, that you staying invisible is serving you, you're not going to put yourself out there. You just won't. Like, why would you do something that will harm you? And I say, we're eager to hurt ourselves in order to survive. Especially if you grew up in an environment where you are not really allowed to express yourself. And it's like, and I teach a lot of clients and they talk a lot about stress management. And I hear it all the time, like, well, show me a parenting who was giving everything to their child and letting them to run wild. What kind of parenting that is? Exactly. This is our society. And the sad part is that we are going from generation to generation doing the same thing, out of survivalism. So let's just not be angry about that. Let's just acknowledge it and say, okay, this is where it's coming from. That's okay. Now we entered to the kitchen and we have the ingredients. And now we're going to start cooking what we have ingredients for. Because you cannot make meatballs when you have only cabbage, right? This means you have to do something with the cabbage. But you still maybe can make something that is with meatballs and still tastes great. So you still can do something that you want to do. You just may be scared. And ask yourself this question. Why not? Why you cannot do that? And I tell you, I have met quite a few people who when I meet people, they ask me, what do you do? And, the moment when I say, publish books and things like that, they say, I have a book inside of me too. And I'm like, okay, you want to write it? You want to publish? And they're like, well, not right now. And I always ask them, why not? And then the old excuse starts. They don't have the time, they don't have the money, they don't have the... Have you ever wanted something and you actually achieved? You probably have a whole list of those things. And I recommend you to write those down, because this is some list that you need to go back to and read it when you feel like you just lost hope that you can achieve anything, because you already have done amazing things by now. So why we would be doubting ourselves? Because we've been taught to doubt ourselves. And again, this is not a place for point fingers, be angry and resentful, and they did this to me. This is such an old news now. So what? Let's move on. Now we know what happened. We know the ingredients. Let's cook something amazing food and let's just move on. Acknowledge yourselves. You know how it is to honor yourself and not abandon yourself feels like? Is by allowing yourself to do what you want to do. Is honoring your need and honoring your emotions and your passion and your drive and following and going after it. Many times I hear, well, she wouldn't let me, he wouldn't let me, and somebody else wouldn't let me. I get it. When you were a child, that worked for you because you know we're herd animals. We need to be in a group, and if you are a child, you better be people pleasing, otherwise, you're not going to get fed, and hence you're going to die. But now we're adults. And we're still doing the same people pleasing because we're afraid to offend people. We're afraid that they will see our success and they will not like us anymore. There's a lot of that loyalty of like, I don't want to leave my village. The loneliness. It's be more fun to sit in misery, but in a company, than being alone and doing your dreams. But I'm going to tell you something, that when you do something and you have enough courage to actually now realize that you're not a child anymore, you can survive. Look at all those things that you're already doing. You're probably actually taking care of some other people. You have other people that you take care of. So you see how amazing you are? And even if you think you did a bad job and you failed in some places in your life and you're like, oh, I didn't do this right. You live till now. You're watching this video. You're listening to me. So you are alive. This means whatever you did, it still worked, because we do everything in order to survive. Everything serving us. So maybe it didn't taste good, but how about we will make it that it will taste good? You don't have to repeat the same recipe just because everybody else is doing the same thing. Life will be a very boring place and we will go nowhere if new inventions, new ideas, and new passions would not be allowed to see the light. And usually, when I look at documentaries and read the books about other people and their inventions, they always have to push from the popular opinion. So no matter how big your passion is or your goal that you want to achieve, or small or for big or whatever that is, you have to give yourself a chance. And in today's technology time, you can have so much help. You don't need to work even that hard. So ask yourself, is it really you being scared how other people will see you is holding you back? Or you're scared that they will not like it? That people pleasing still lives in you like a child? It's time to drop it, because you can survive on your own. You take care of other people. Also, when you start doing something that you love to do and you honor your needs, okay, some people get triggered from honoring your needs like being selfish. Oh my God. But you realize you cannot pour out of empty pitch. Here's the beautiful things. Anything about stress management, about any patterns that you learning, living by, and showing in your actions. Here's the beautiful thing. The kids, if you have kids, younger kids, guess what are they learning from all of this world? You are the authority in their life. They paying attention what you do. Did you notice that you can tell them and tell them and tell them, and they're not going to do what you tell them, but they're going to do what you actually doing. So make sure that your words align with your actions. Listen, this is not about parenting, but about living your dream, allowing yourself to do something that you want to do, even small things, having preferences. And for example, I come to my friend and I say, I don't want cow milk because I'm dairy intolerant. Do you have oat milk or any other milk? That's just preference. But you are honoring yourself. And By that example, you're showing everybody else in the room that they have a right to have their preferences as well. At the same token, you need to give permission to other people to express themselves as well. So when you're going after your passion, you're opening doors not only for you, but you're giving an example to your kids, to your family members, to your friends, to everybody around you. And how many times, especially now in today's environment where we have so much of social media overload, we see other people doing something and then we get inspired to do the same. Imagine if they were not sharing that recipe that you love so much now. You would not know it. So stop holding yourself back. Really identify what is this fear is holding you back. Fear of people pleasing, fear of abandonment, fear of what they will say. The sad part is this. If you're not going to allow yourself to do that, then what's going to happen? Imagine in 5, 10 years, 20 years, you will not do what you want to do. How that will make you feel? You probably wish, oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But don't do that, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Really, look at that fear. Ask where it's really coming from. And then prepare yourself for the worst. This is what I teach my coaching clients. What is the worst thing that can happen? What are you afraid is going to happen? Are they going to get angry at you? Especially if you're writing nonfiction. And this weekend I just held an online class where we were talking about what is holding you back from writing and publishing a book. And the majority said the same thing. I am afraid of sharing my story because it's so personal. I don't want to offend any family members. Listen, you have to be true to yourself. And you should tell the story the way it was from your point of view. Also, that's not a documentary. You can have a disclaimer. You can change the names. You can do all kinds of things. You just can have something that allows you to express who you are. You can express yourself and write all kinds of things from the perspective that still allows you to give you that place for healing, for showing an example, for sharing your passion, and not offending anyone. Don't be afraid to do that, because the worst thing is when you find those excuses and the time is passing by and you will look back and say, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, but I didn't. So it's time for you to do this now. Stop being afraid of other people, what they will say. And the worst case, what's going to happen? You're going to be angry at you? Well, how long? And like I always say, if you're writing and publishing a book, your family and friends probably not going to read it because they are not your client. Your client is going to read it. Those are the people that want to be coached by you, inspired by you. Show the example to those who care. The same as you got an example from somewhere else that help you to do something that you love doing it now or serve you somehow. So have that courage. And if you need some help, welcome to sign up for my one-on-one coaching session about how to write and self-publish books, or take my online class. And subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching it at YouTube, and like this video if you did, and send it to someone that you think can benefit from it.